both of these pitchers will throw strikes, especially Eichhoff on the other side will fill up the strike zone. But I think Drew's getting more and more comfortable with throwing to contact and letting the defense work. And certainly on a day where the wind's in his favor, he will do that, especially more often in this ball game.
Quick strike to Sebastian Alexander, right-handed batting left fielder. 2 outs in the inning quickly here, nobody aboard. Alexander batting .261, and he'll ground this one down the line. Backhand play by Eubanks, long throw, and it's made on the short hop. Great play both ends. Eubanks and Blake Cavill to rob Sebastian Alexander here in the first. Another look.
Well, you get a look at it. He dives into foul ground, but what made him gave him a chance.
With runners in scoring position, his batting average is at .415. Got Meyer at second here with 2 gone. Pitch ripped into right center field. That'll get down. Another RBI coming for Brooks Bryant. Here comes Stephen Meyer, and there is the first lead of the afternoon.
That looked like a sinker that just didn't sink. It flattened out on Eichhoff there a little bit, and you can't make that mistake to a hitter like Bryant. Even with 2 strikes, he puts a solid swing on it, and Meyer, with 2 out especially, easily scores from second with his speed.
Bryant has it. Could be a double play ball. Wax will collect it at short. Throw to second for 1. Easy on to first. 2 for the price of 1. 6-4-3. And that's that for Coastal in the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. In the middle of 2, it's Troy 1, Coastal Carolina nothing. Big freshman. 6'4", 231 pounds. 1-0 Troy. In the second, Eichhoff winds and throws, and it's hit right back up the middle. Base hit for Janicki. Boy, he's starting to warm up, Jerry, as the weather gets warmer, is he not?
He is. He got off to a really good start, and then at the plate, kind of things got away from him a little bit. But you're right, I think he's really starting to figure it out now and put good swings.
Yep.
That was a good swing there with a.
There's a gap to the right side. They're not shifting. They are short, looking for a double play ground ball. With the second baseman Bartol near the bag. Wax will hit this one into left center field. Charging is Mijos. It'll drop in front of him. How about that? Janicki's going to try for third as the throw comes looping into the cutoff man. Mijos, I thought, had it in his back pocket. It fell right in front of him, and the Trojans have placed runners at first and third.
It's a good job on the base pass by Janicki. It wasn't hit particularly hard, and that's what made it tough for Mijos to get there. Neither he nor Alexander could get there. You'll see this one just hang up there a while, but look how aggressive Janicki was. He goes 3/4 of the way. He had an eye on it, and he didn't stop at second. Once it bounced past Mijos, he took off for third. The throw came into second.
Ground ball to the third base side. Eubanks will grab it to second for 1. On to first. Nice pivot. And that gets 2. Bodine grounds into the double play. Quickly 2 gone.
Just a nice play. Eubanks has made a couple of nice plays. The key there, if you're going to turn to 5-4-3, you have got to get that ball out of your hand quickly at third and hit his outside ball. 1, we're underway. It'll be Tazi, Thorndike, and Sykes due up against Stewart. Here in the top of the 4th, Shantz lead it 4-1. That's driven to right. Schrader will put his heels on the warning track and make the catch. And Tazi flies out for out number 1.
We were mentioning the Jared Parker Golf Classic. TroyTrojans.com/Parker Golf is how you Panthers off. Both of those teams 3-2 in league play.
0-2 pitch back to Stewart. He will glove it. Run over to first base, underhand it toward Cavill, and Grayson Stewart has retired all 4 batters he has faced, and the shots go quietly in the top of the yesterday's starting pitcher for the Trojans out on the Troy dugout, so look forward to that time with him.
Yeah, he was good.
Swing and a miss, got him to chase that high fastball, and that's typically his out pitch, the high heat, and he gets Dooley to chase one up out of the zone.
And that's the reason why sometimes, he'll give up a high fly ball and it'll get out of here, but he's most effective when he is up in the zone, and that one was letter high. And
run for the Shantz. Stewart's first pitch to him is a bunt. It'll be back to Stewart. He'll have a play He'll throw over to first. That was bunted harder than Alexander wanted to, right back at Stewart, and he throws him out at first. So the Chants come up scoreless here in the top of the field. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. We go to the bottom of the field. Tazi's proven to be a very good hitter.
He's taken a couple of vicious cuts on that inside fastball, and he has sliced them both out of play.
Gotta think he may try a change up here. We'll see. He goes fastball, gets him on the outer edge. I think Tazi was maybe looking for something off speed. And Stewart picked a good time to get his second strikeout. And that gives him a chance now to get out of the inning with a double play. But throw over, Mitchell back. Just try to cut down his lead as much as possible. Maybe have a chance on a strikeout, throw him out.
Yeah, even though, you know, there's no tallying on the board, there's a lot going on out there.
Another payoff pitch to the plate. Mitchell goes. That's hit hard. Snagged by Cavill. He will saunter back over to the first base bag, tap it for the double play, and Stewart works around it. First and third, nobody out, and the Chants come up easy. Look at this again. It was ripped.
Hit the daylights out of it, backhanded by Cavill. Looking over his shoulder, Mitchell couldn't do a thing about it, headed to second base. He's been great all year, so what he's doing now is not peculiar to him.
He was their Friday starter a year ago, so it tells you how he competes. There's a break up the string. That'll be Brooks Bryan going the opposite way. That'll one-hop the wall, and that'll be a two-out double to break a string of 13 in a row set down by Eickhoff. All Troy doubles brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust, the only bank you will ever need. And Troy with some life here, just got to feel encouraged to get anything off of Eickhoff. And that's an opposite field double from Brooks. But your point's well made. He's at 74 pitches or so right now. That's it back to the box. That'll get into center field. The Trojans will wave Bryan around third, and the Trojans, after going down 13 in a row to this guy, goes back-to-back with a double and a single, and they cut the lead in half now. It's Coastal 4 and Troy 2.
Bowman with his 6th RBI of the season. It scores
here in the 6th. One in already for Troy. That's in the air, deep left center field. On his horse is Mijos. He'll run back, he'll look up, that one's gone! Out of here! A two-run shot off of the bat of Gavin Schrader, and the Trojans have tied it up, 4-4.
Bowman rounding third, screaming and jumping and pumping his arms in delight. Schrader is getting the congratulations after tying this one up. And bear in mind, for Eickhoff on the mound for Coastal Carolina, that's only the 3rd home run he's given here in the 6th.
Janicki hits this one deep to left field. They'll look up. That one's out of here, and the Trojans take the lead with back-to-back home runs. First Schrader and now Janicki, and it's 5-4 Troy.
First home run in his Troy career. I thought actually that Eickhoff made a good pitch to Schrader, who just did a lot with it. Jerry, that was a big high fastball with a little cut at the end, and it was right on Janicki's barrel. Ground ball left side, big hop for Wax. He'll throw to first in time. A big Sunday hop on a Sunday afternoon, and Sykes is the first out of the 7th inning. 11 in the series. Right-handed batting center fielder, batting at .356. Infield at double play depth. Mijos will hit this one into left center field. Racing in, Bowman will make a sliding catch on his knees. Oh boy! Throw him a pork chop, doubles alley. That was spectacular from Harrison Bowman, and a big part of this baseball game. Bodine 0 for 2. In the series, he is 4 for 8. He's been good. Batting lefty here against the right-hander. And the pitch. Ground ball into the shift. Knocking it down is Darnell in short right. Throws to first. And that's that. For Coastal in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the stretch, it's Troy 5 and Coastal 4. He last threw during the midweek last week at Campbell. Was good against the Camels in 3 innings. High drive, left field, back will go Alexander, track, wall, gone! Grand slam home run! Harrison Bowman and the Trojans have broken it open.
Are you kidding me? This kid has really come on. Knew he was going to get some pitches here. They intentionally walked Bryan to get the bases loaded, and Bowman comes through with his 2nd home run of the year. This one a grand slam to break this one open. 9-4 for the Trojans. What an at-bat.
Weekend in cold, windy, wet Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a warm weather fan here. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. It's a base hit into right field. Heading to third will be Bartol. The throw to third is in time. He got him. What? Second time this weekend that Schrader has gunned somebody down at third trying to take the extra bag.
I think he looked up and was a little bit of shock that Barthol was making the turn. And you could see from our vantage point, he just pulled a one-hopper to Watts.
Oh, this will be a good angle, fellas. Thanks, ESPN Plus. Schrader with a seed to third on a hop.
Yeah, one hop. You see Watts is there, puts the tag. He tries to hop over it, but
in this game. There are 2 outs, though. No double play here. Runner at first is Mitchell. Polinsky throws, and it swings and misses. Strike 3. He struck him out. In the 8th inning for Coastal Carolina. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On to the bottom of the 8th. Troy 9 and Coastal Carolina 4. Sweet. Pitch right into right field in front of Wells Sykes. And a base hit for Meyer. That's his 2nd of the game. You have to loop it over second and get it down in front of the right fielder. He nose-dived it in the perfect spot.
That's one way to beat the shift, just line it over the second baseman's head, and he did that.
Named Sunbelt Player of the Week already. Darnell's one of them. Looks at a strike on a changeup. Darnell won it the first week of the season. Shane Lewis won the 2nd week, and goodness, we certainly would love to see Shane back in action next week. And then, of course, the reigning Sunbelt Player of the Week is Gavin Schrader. Doran throws, runner breaks, pitch is taken high, throw to second base. Not in time.
That was a good throw from Bodine. There was a little bit high, and Meyer's able to go to the back of the bag. They immediately go to the ears.
Cavill 3rd in the nation in walks this year. Looks at a strike. And it's 0-1. Meyer, by the way, the stolen base should be pointed out. He leads the league in steals. 2 gone. Cavill trying to pick Meyer up from second base and add to the lead. Runner breaks for third. Pitch is low and outside. Bodine's throw is off the bag. Nice job by Mitchell to leap after the baseball and keep it from going into left, and that, without a doubt, saves a run.
Throw strikes, throw to contact if needed. You've got a 5-run lead. You don't need to be too fancy up there.
2-0. That's a strike at the knees. 2-1.
You haven't got to be deceptive here. You just need to be to execute.
Trust in your work. Trust in your stuff. Thorndike, lefty batter, leading off the 9th. Ground ball into the shift. Collecting himself is Darnell in short right field to make the throw to first. On the ground ball out. 1 away. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, just throw to contact if they run into one or find a gap.
Ground ball back down by Cavill. He'll race to the bag. Got it. A run scores. Cavill with a backhand play and a hot shot to the right side.
Game, good pitching early and then explosive offense. It was 2 big innings by the Trojans, 2 4-run innings that made the difference. They got it done with the long ball, and Troy wins a tremendously competitive series between two of the best teams in the Sun Belt Conference.
Coastal Carolina drops to 17-7, now 4-2 in the league. Troy is now 18-6, 4-2 in the league as well. Again, your final: Troy 9, Coastal Carolina 5.